The Yellowstone universe is expanding once again. I know 1923 just said goodbye to us, and yet here we are, already welcoming a new Yellowstone series. This time, however, a sequel series is awaiting us instead of a prequel, and it focuses on a character who never got the chance to truly shine in the original Yellowstone show. Of course, I'm talking about none other than our beloved Case Dutton. In addition to being a sequel for once, this marks the first time a Yellowstone program will be broadcast on CBS. This is a significant shift, especially since we've grown accustomed to watching Yellowstone on Paramount Network and Paramount Plus. It goes without saying, we have a lot to discuss, including what will happen in this new series and how it will advance the Yellowstone franchise overall. From the very first frame of the trailer, it's clear that Case and Monica's story is heading into darker, deeper waters than ever before. The peaceful life they tried so desperately to build for themselves is already cracking, and the ghosts of their past are rushing back with a vengeance. Case, who spent years torn between loyalty to his family and his own dreams, thought he had finally found freedom. He gave up the Dutton Ranch, handed it to the reservation, and carved out a future on a smaller piece of land away from the bloody legacy of his ancestors. Monica, who once struggled to fit into the world of the Duttons, stood by his side, ready to raise Tate and start over. But Yellowstone has always taught us one brutal lesson: peace never lasts. In this new series, Case and Monica are about to learn that some legacies are impossible to escape. The trailer hints at a world where Casey's past as a soldier comes roaring back to life, forcing him into impossible choices. We see flashes of military insignias, coded messages, and shadowy figures watching from a distance. It's a reminder that Casey's battles didn't end when he left the Navy, they just changed shape. Meanwhile, Monica faces battles of her own. The trailer teases a powerful subplot involving Monica reconnecting with her Native American roots in a way that could create new tensions not only within her marriage, but within the community she's trying to protect. She's not the same woman we met in Yellowstone's early seasons. She's fiercer, more determined, and more willing to fight for what she believes in, even if it means standing against Casey when it matters most. And then there's Tate, the child who once represented hope for a new generation of Duttons. He's growing up fast, and the world he's stepping into is far more dangerous than anything his parents faced. The trailer gives us glimpses of Tate learning survival skills, standing beside his father with grim determination, and confronting the harsh realities of the land he calls home. But it also raises haunting questions. Can Tate escape the violence that haunted his family? Or is he doomed to repeat their mistakes no matter how hard Case and Monica try to shield him? One of the most chilling parts of the trailer suggests that powerful enemies are closing in enemies who view the Dutton name as a threat that must be eliminated once and for all. There's a sense of dread hanging over every moment, a feeling that no matter how far Case and Monica run, danger is always just one step behind. And if that weren't enough, the trailer hints at betrayal from within someone close to them. Someone they trust may already be working against them. This sets the stage for heartbreak that could tear their family apart. As if that betrayal wasn't painful enough, rumors are swirling that Monica's own loyalty might be tested like never before. Old wounds between the reservation and the Duttons, once buried, are starting to reopen, and Monica may be forced to choose between the man she loves and the people she was born to protect. The tension between love and duty, family and identity, is sharper than ever, and the stakes couldn't be higher. The trailer's final moments leave us with a chilling cliffhanger. Case standing alone on a cliff, staring out over the land that cost him everything. His expression is a storm of emotions: anger, sadness, regret, and something darker. Something that hints he might be willing to cross lines he once swore he never would. It's a reminder that Case Dutton, for all his loyalty and goodness, is still a man shaped by violence and loss. And now, with his family's future hanging in the balance, he may have to become something even he doesn't recognize. As for Monica, the trailer makes it clear she's no longer just a supporting player in Case's story. She's a force to be reckoned with, and her choices will have consequences that ripple through every corner of their world. Storm closes in, or will the pull of her own bloodline drag her down a different, more dangerous path? Either way, the Yellowstone, Casey and Monica sequel promises a ride filled with heartbreak, betrayal, and the desperate fight for survival. And one thing's for sure, nothing will ever be the same again. The storm is just beginning. Now, the questions that have haunted Case and Monica for years are finally coming to a breaking point. This Yellowstone sequel doesn't just bring old ghosts back, it digs up buried truths that were never meant to see the light of day. And one of the biggest questions swirling around the new trailer is this: what did Casey see during his vision quest at the end of Yellowstone Season 4? Fans remember that haunting moment when he told Monica, "I saw the end of us." That cryptic warning was never fully explained in the original series. But now the sequel seems ready to deliver the full weight of that prophecy, and it's devastating. The new story suggests that Casey's vision wasn't just symbolic. It was a warning of real events to come. There's growing tension between Casey and the remnants of his family, especially Jamie Dutton, who appears to be back in the picture in ways no one saw coming. The feud between Jamie and the Duttons isn't over. In fact, this new sequel might finally reveal just how far Jamie is willing to go to destroy what's left of John Dutton's legacy, and Case could be caught directly in the crossfire. But there's more. Much more. Whispers of new political forces entering Montana, greedy developers, corrupt politicians, and enemies hiding behind law and order threaten to swallow up what's left of the land Case has been fighting to protect. And with John Dutton gone, or at least missing from the story's center, the weight falls on Case's shoulders to defend a name that once meant power, but now paints a target on his back. Every time Case tries to walk away from violence, Yellowstone pulls him back in. And this time, it's not just about bullets and blood, it's about betrayal from within. We hear hints that someone inside the tribal council has struck a deal with outside developers, offering parts of the land to energy companies in exchange for political power. Monica, who has always tried to be a bridge between worlds, now finds herself standing on opposite sides of a war she didn't choose. Her trust is broken. Her heart is torn. And with Tate caught in the middle, the consequences are more personal than ever before. But even with the world crumbling around them, Monica and Case aren't giving up. That's what makes this sequel so powerful. It's not just a continuation, it's a war for identity, legacy, and redemption. For Monica, the path forward may require her to finally confront the pain of her past, her brother's death, years of struggle, and the feeling of being an outsider in her own home. These wounds never healed. Now, in the face of betrayal and lies, Monica must decide who she is. A protector of her people? A mother to her son? Or the wife of a man who might not survive what's coming? For Case, the question is even harder. Can he be both a father and a warrior? Can he walk a path of peace in a world that only understands violence? And when the time comes, will he kill again to save the people he loves? The trailer doesn't give us all the answers, but it shows us enough to know one thing: the price of survival will be higher than ever. There's also a sense that new characters are coming figures from Case's military past who bring danger, secrets, and possibly unfinished business. One former comrade seems to hold a key to something Case left behind. Something dark. Something he swore never to speak of again. And now it's resurfacing. Whether it's a betrayal, a war crime, or a deal gone bad, this secret threatens not only Case's future, but Tate's. Because once blood is spilled, it always finds a way back home. Meanwhile, Monica is drawing closer to her ancestors in ways we've never seen before. Guided by her grandmother's wisdom and haunted by visions of loss, Monica begins exploring spiritual traditions that might hold the key to understanding Case's prophecy and preventing it from coming true. But that path is dangerous too. There are those who see Monica's awakening as a threat, people who would silence her rather than let her rise as a leader. The trailer suggests a terrifying possibility that Monica may become a target not only because of who she married, but because of who she's becoming. And as she steps into that new power, she may be forced to leave Case behind spiritually or literally. The emotional weight of that possibility is crushing. Can their love survive the war that's coming? Or is the end of us already written in stone? One final twist. The trailer leaves us with a name whispered in fear, a figure seen only in shadows. A villain from the Duttons' past who may not be as dead or defeated as we thought. This person, whose identity is being tightly guarded, could be the puppet master behind the chaos. Some fans believe it's a relative we've never met, a hidden child, or even a long-lost Dutton with a score to settle. Others think it might be someone from the Broken Rock Reservation seeking revenge for a betrayal buried deep in Yellowstone's history. Whoever it is, their return will shake the foundations of everything Case and Monica are trying to build. And if the trailer's final frame means what we think it does, this enemy knows exactly where to strike next. Tate. The Dutton legacy may be dying, but the fight for the future has only just begun. In this new Yellowstone sequel, nothing is safe. No one is innocent. And every choice carries a cost. What will Case become when pushed too far? How far will Monica go to protect her son? And when the truth finally comes out, will their family survive what's coming next? The deeper we go into the Yellowstone sequel, the clearer it becomes. This isn't just Case and Monica's story anymore. It's a battle between bloodlines, destinies, and the land itself. The trailer quietly drops hints that something ancient is waking beneath the soil of Montana. There are scenes filled with heavy silent shots of burned fields, dying livestock, and tribal elders whispering warnings. And one name keeps surfacing: Rainwater. But this isn't the Rainwater we once knew. The once pragmatic chief is older now, hardened by disappointment and betrayal. And rumor has it, he no longer believes peace is possible. His alliance with John Dutton fractured years ago. Now he watches as outsiders circle the reservation like vultures. And in the silence of his council chamber, a new plan is forming, one that may pit him directly against Case, no matter how much blood was once shared. Because Case walks both worlds. But in the Yellowstone sequel, that may no longer be enough. He's too Dutton for the reservation, too native for the state, and the pressure is building from both sides to choose a side once and for all. But Case isn't the only one caught in the middle. Monica is being pulled toward a different path, one rooted in ancient visions and dreams passed down from the women of her bloodline. She begins to see glimpses of things others can't. A fire. A name. A betrayal. But the most haunting image of all is one she refuses to speak aloud, a vision of Tate, alone, standing before a grave marked by the Dutton brand. Is it a warning? Or a future already written? And then there's Jamie. Yes, he's back, and not as an ally. The Yellowstone sequel teases his return as a political force, maybe even a rising senator or governor with one clear mission: destroy what's left of the Duttons and remake Montana in his own image. He's no longer the broken, manipulated man we remember. He's evolved dangerous, calculating, and worse, patient. And he hasn't forgotten what Case did. The trailer implies that Jamie may be building alliances with powerful new enemies, corporate developers, former foes of John Dutton, and possibly even members of the federal government. One voiceover, deep, cold, and unmistakably Jamie, says, "Blood built this empire, and blood will bury it." That line alone has sent fans into a frenzy. What's he planning? And how far is he willing to go? Because if Jamie has his way, Case may not live long enough to finish what he started. But Jamie isn't the only threat. The Yellowstone sequel introduces a powerful new family the Mollins never seen before in the franchise. The Mollins claim the land was stolen from them by the Duttons over a century ago, and now they've returned not just to reclaim it, but to erase the Dutton name completely. At the head of the family is Morin Mallon, a sharp, brutal matriarch with a grudge and an army of lawyers, lobbyists, and mercenaries. She's not interested in ranching. She's interested in ownership. And she sees Case as the final obstacle standing in her way. Her son, Pierce Mallon, is a former military contractor with a personal vendetta against Case. The two men share a mysterious past, something violent, something unfinished. And now, it's coming back with a vengeance. If Pierce has his way. Meanwhile, Monica's journey is turning darker. The visions are intensifying. She begins waking in the middle of the night, drenched in sweat, whispering names she doesn't remember speaking. She hears drums in her dreams, feels heat in her bones, and sees figures wearing the faces of the dead. Her grandmother warns her. The spirit world is opening not just to guide, but to test. And Monica realizes the ground beneath them is cursed. Not by magic, but by memory. Generations of bloodshed, broken treaties, and stolen land have poisoned the soil. Now nature is fighting back. Wildfires spread without warning. Crops die for no reason. Herds vanish. Locals speak of animals behaving strangely, of coyotes howling at dawn, of birds refusing to fly. The land is restless, and at the center of it all stands the Dutton name. Monica begins to believe that unless something is sacrificed, truly sacrificed, the land will never forgive what's been done to it. Casey, torn between guilt and duty, begins digging into old records, trying to understand the full scope of what the Duttons built and what they destroyed. He uncovers letters from John's ancestors, documents that reveal brutal truths about how the ranch came to be, deals made in blood, betrayals carved into history, and one terrifying discovery, a hidden burial ground marked only by a burned tree and a symbol Casey recognizes from his vision quest. It's there, in that silence, that Case begins to understand what the end of us truly means. Because it's not just about his marriage. It's about the land itself turning against its owners. It's about ghosts demanding justice. And the price may be more than he's willing to pay. But before Case can act, the attacks begin. Not just legal battles. Not just threats. Actual, physical strikes. Fires on the ranch. Shots fired at his truck. A break-in at his home. And worst of all, Tate begins receiving threats. Case goes on high alert. He arms himself. Watches the horizon like a soldier waiting for war. That's when he realizes he's not preparing for war. He's already in it. And he's losing. As the trailer builds to a climax, we see Casey staring across a canyon, rifle in hand, tears in his eyes. Monica stands behind him, clutching Tate, her face bruised. And somewhere in the distance, Jamie watches, smiling. This is not the story we thought we'd get. This is not about cowboys and cattle anymore. This is about blood, bones, and betrayal. It's about a family being torn apart from within. And the Yellowstone sequel doesn't offer a clean future. It offers a brutal choice. Protect your legacy or protect your soul. But not both. As we dive deeper into this new chapter of the Yellowstone universe, the questions surrounding Case and Monica's future only grow more intense. What will this next phase of their lives mean for the Dutton legacy? Can Case truly escape the weight of his family's past? Or is he doomed to return to the same conflicts that have haunted him for years? As we glimpse Monica's struggle, it's clear their journey is anything but smooth. With the premiere of this sequel series, it's not just about Case finding peace. It's about facing his demons and deciding once and for all where his loyalties lie. Will he embrace a life free from the ranch? Or will his past, the land, and his family pull him back into a world of danger and impossible choices? The Duttons have always been about sacrifice, loyalty, and survival. But this time it's personal. Case's story isn't just about his past. It's about what comes next for his family and the future of the Duttons as we know them. What does all of this mean for the future of Yellowstone? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain. The stakes have never been higher. If you're as hooked as we are by what's coming for Case, Monica, and the entire Dutton legacy, don't miss a single update. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. And share this video with other Yellowstone fans. There's so much more to uncover. And trust us, the next chapter will change everything. Stay with us. This ride is just getting started.